After 22 years as a head coach, 35 in the NFL, coaching a team to a Super Bowl, part of two historic franchises in the NFL, why, after 6 years, did you decide that the USFL was the right opportunity for you?
All right. Generally speaking, we do what we do in life so that you can work towards this place where you can do all those things you can't do when you're working. And I don't want to call it retirement because it really wasn't retirement for me. But, eventually in the National Football League, somebody's going to make a decision that was out of your control. That decision came only once in my career, and it came after the 6th or the 15th season. And so I had some time off, and, I got recharged. I did things that I had never done before. For example, I got to my cabin in Montana, which I'd had for 20 years, for the first time in the months of late July, August, September, and October. I'd never seen or stepped foot back in Montana during those months. So I spent, several years watching the NFL. I got into the college space from a distance, but at the same time, I got out. I traveled. I was very fortunate. I traveled the world. I fished. I was fishing all over. I fished from Argentina to Alaska. I love to fly fish. I did numerous really cool hunting excursions and things like that. So I had 4 or 5 years to where, I wanted to get back in, but I really just was looking for the perfect opportunity. And bottom line is, I caught enough fish over the last 5 years. And when I was contacted over a year ago, by the USFL and Brian Woods, it really piqued my interest because, I hate to say it checked a lot of boxes, but that's how we talk nowadays. And it really did. I mean, I'm spending my time between Nashville and Montana. Julie and I've got grandkids here. We got 2 more coming in the next couple months. And, this is, we have a home here. We have a home there. Been able to do an awful lot, but there was a void. And I found myself over the last 5 or 6 years helping people, helping coaches, helping players. The list and the calls that I've gotten over the years from former players, and trying to help the former Titans here in Nashville. I got into this. I want to help guys realize their dreams, and based on the experience that I have in all different areas, it doesn't matter whether it's mental health, whatever it is. I can help people. So, this was the perfect opportunity for me to check that box to get back on the sideline. But in addition to that, help young coaches realize their dream. With exception of maybe one on this small staff with the Panthers, these are young coaches that are really, really super talented in their own way. And I'm hoping that these guys will get an opportunity to move on and do what they want in football. And if that's beyond the USFL, and that's okay, we'll replace them and bring new guys in. But this is an opportunity what the USFL has provided the players and the coaches. And so that's where I stand. As a matter of fact, I had offered my defensive line coaching job to 2 different individuals that between the time that I offered them the job and now they both become NFL coaches. So the NFL was excited to hear that I was going to make them my line coaches. So they made them their line coaches. So in essence, what we did, we helped coaches. So that's kind of where, that's where I'm standing right now, is just sitting here in an opportunity to get back on the sideline with right now 45 guys. And I've only met one of them in person, and that's Shay, that I'm going to meet here in the next week to 10 days. And we're going to pull together really quick. And we're going to have a team that, if we're right, if again, when we talk about drafting and things like that, last night, as you mentioned, we've just finished our supplemental draft. We got everybody on the top of our list. The only guy that was not on the very top of our list going into this supplemental by all the positions was a long snapper, and I dropped down and took him because I liked him better than the guys on top. So anyway, it's so we either don't know what we're doing or we're really pretty good at what we're doing, and we're going to find out. So there's a lot of those kind of fun unanswered questions, if you will.
Well, Coach, I have no doubt that you know what you're doing. I also want to tip my cap to you, as I got to speak with Tennessee State head coach Eddie George earlier last year. and he talked about what an influence you were for him and how helpful you were for him. And I mean, it's got to be just a great feeling for you to help young coaches live their dream, get into the NFL. But one of the reasons you've been able to do that is you know how to build a championship roster. You know what it means to be a part of a championship football team at the highest level. Chicago Bears winning the '85 Super Bowl, and of course, leading the Titans to a berth in the Super Bowl. How do you build a championship team?
Well, I mean, it's not something that you just you pull in the parking lot and walk in the office for the first time and know how to do it. I mean, those kind of things take time. But nonetheless, I was very fortunate to have time to be a head coach in the National Football League for 22 years. It doesn't happen anymore. And so, I had the time and I had the experience. I mean, I as you mentioned, I coached 2 franchises, 2 teams in 5 different cities in 6 different stadiums. And I'm the only one in NFL history to not only relocate one team, but go out again and move another team. So, I like to think I'm well-rounded in that area as well, operations and rules and logistics and, not only just building a football team, but putting together a successful and productive organization. So I've had that experience, and to your point, yeah, we did. I got Titans to the Super Bowl in 5 years, and then we sustained. We got back to playoffs. Nobody won more games than we did in a 5-year span, and then shift gears, jump into a new challenge, and I got to the Rams Super Bowl in 6 years. They just didn't take me with them. So that's the way I look at it. But nonetheless, I mean, it's a great, I can go back on my experience. I also served on, I was honored to serve on the NFL competition committee for 16 years. So, I know what goes on behind the scenes. I know why the rules are where they are. And I know, I know how to look at things from a perspective of prioritizing when you're making a decision, prioritizing the potential unintended consequences that come from the decision that you make. And that's with respect to rules or decisions and so on and so forth. So, I've been blessed to have the experience that I've acquired over the years. And now I get an opportunity to share it.
Thanks for watching this video, and remember, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos on the #1 Ranked Show YouTube channel.